Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. All right, New York Mets fans. David Stearns has struck, making his first move of note, signing Luis Severino. And I gotta say, Carlos Mendoza probably had a significant impact on this signing. Because I gotta say something, and I really believe this, last year, Luis Severino was one of the worst pitchers in baseball. He stunk. He really stunk, right? So the Mets, they go ahead. Luis Severino just had the worst year of his career, but the Mets signed him to a 1-year, $13 million. What does that mean? What is it going to mean going forward for the New York Mets? What are the next moves? Is OHTANI still in the cards? Well, we're going to talk about it today. But first, as always, if you could help us support our channel, if you could like and subscribe, we're going to come to you with the content that you want to hear. The hot stove. What is going on with OHTANI and the rest of the free agents? So I really appreciate you again. So let's move forward to the video. So today, like I mentioned, Luis Severino is a New York Met. What does this mean? He stunk last year. All right, what does it mean? It means that David Stearns has identified a guy. I want to say identified a need, but we need a lot of starting pitching. We need a lot of starting pitching. So with our rotation right now, we have Kodai Senga at the top, Jose Quintana right behind him, and now we got Luis Severino, probably who's going to be pushed to the number 5 or 6 slot. That's what it's going to mean. Luis Severino is going to be the biggest lottery ticket probably on the roster right now. Luis Severino, and I got to say, last year was the worst year of his career, but I mentioned Carlos Mendoza because Carlos Mendoza having a significant influence and impact with the relationship with Luis Severino, maybe he was able to say, hey, David, there was something going on, or there was something significant with Luis that caused him to just give up home runs and to just pitch very crappy. If you look at his baseball savant numbers from last year, the only thing that is red is his fastball. He averaged 96.4. So that is a really good thing, folks. He didn't lose any ticks off his fastball. He might have lost some movement. His pitches might have not been as nasty. But in terms of velocity, his velocity didn't take any ticks down. In fact, it took a tick up from 2022. In 2022, it was 96.3 average. In 2023, it's 96.4. So he didn't lose any velocity. He lost movement. He wasn't as nasty. But if you're Carlos Mendoza and you had that close relationship with Luis Severino, maybe he was able to talk to David Stearns and rationalize why the whole season was a blowout. I remember every time I tuned in and I was listening to a Yankee game or I looked at a box score, I just see Luis Severino was always giving up that big hit. He really was. He wasn't striking out guys like he would in the past. It was a horrible year, a year from hell. Then Luis has been injured. You know, he's always been injury prone, and that's just what you're going to get in Luis Severino. So the Mets sign him, and I actually like the move. If you're going to spend $13 million on Luis Severino, that's telling me that you're willing to spend a lot more money on other talented guys. You're going to give him $13 million? Imagine they're not going to be afraid to dole out money. That is going to be our biggest kind of conclusion from this signing. But if you look at Luis Severino as a career, the worst year that he's had has been last year. Other than last year, he's actually pitched very, very well. If you look at his career ERA, I mean, the guy's pitched to a 3.79, and that's with the horrific last year. In 2022, his earned run average ERA was 3.18. In 2021, he was injured. 2019, he was he was basically injured, only pitched 3 games. But I guess you got to go really back to 2018 to see when this guy really pitched. But 2018, he was 19-8 with a 3.39 earned average. 2017, he was 14-6 with a 2.98. Bottom line, what I'm saying is the guy has potential. He doesn't have. The problem is he's always often injured, but I gotta say it's a low risk, high reward. At the end of the day, even if he's injured for half the season, the guy next year is not even going to be on the team. And I think him only being on a 1-year contract is that carrot that he needs to perform at a high level. Hey, Luis, if you want to be a major leaguer, you got to produce. You got to change your regimen, change the way you do business in your body. Exercise differently, eat differently, hire different trainers. You have to do things differently. And Carlos Mendoza, maybe he has an inside track that Luis is doing things differently. So I'm trying to say that Carlos Mendoza act as some type of mediator in this Luis Severino signing, and I think it's a good thing. Okay, now let's kind of move forward. I don't think Luis Severino is a big signing at all. He's a depth piece, a number 5 starter at best, a number 6, 7 extra depth piece, probably what he's going to end up being. Okay, and this kind of shows me that David Stearns is going to be a bit aggressive. If whatever need he identifies, I don't think money is going to be an issue. I think King Steve Cohen, kind of has confidence in David Stearns. So whatever David Stearns is going to recommend, we've seen it. $13 million to a guy who just had a 7 ERA. Here you go, David. I believe you. I trust you. All right. So these are all good things that I take from this signing. I feel we're going to have a lot of stuff on our plate. Another signing that we've heard tonight, and it's just basically a crap signing. We signed Joey Wendell. He's basically a slap hitter slash utility player. And I don't really take much from that signing. He's going to be 34 years old. He's just very unimpressive guy. Very minor signing. Just extra depth piece. Okay, but going forward, what's going on with Shohei Ohtani? It seems like a couple teams have dropped out of the race. I believe Texas and Boston, those were the 2 teams that I heard early on. And I like the fact that I haven't heard much stuff about our Mets in connection to Shohei Ohtani. If you're going to spend $13 million on Severino, you're going to spend 4 or 5 times that on Shohei Ohtani. So the fact that the Mets are easily doling out money kind of gives me confidence that the Mets still are going after the big fish. They really are. And like I've been saying in the last couple of videos, I don't care what Steve Cohen or Mets manager told the old veterans in Scherzer and Verlander. Folks, the Mets, and remember this, the Mets are going for it. They are going for it this year. If their payroll is going to be well over $300 million, don't be fooled. They're not punting this season. This season is not going to be punted. All right? In another month, you're going to see we're going to spend another $100 to $150 million. All right? And we're going to be going for it. I don't know. We might make some trades to shed some guys who just don't produce and don't have value the way they should have value, but I have a lot of confidence that we are going for it this season. We are going for it. Remember it. And folks, Met fans, do not lower your expectations. Have high expectations this year. We're going to put the pressure on. We're going to expect to win the World Series because that is the goal. Steve Cohen said within 5 years, we are going to win a World Series. And I didn't forget. I did not forget. I'm going to expect the best, and I want you to expect the best. If you are a Met fan, expect the best. Expect the best. All right, you know what? I'm going to cut things off here right now, but I just want to say, just keep on that philosophy. I'm going to do more videos in the future. I got to cut this one short. Thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe. We got a lot more stuff to go. Have a great night, folks.